What is good, people? Today we got a new video from a new channel I've never heard of, Edwards Economics. And this video says, eating out just stopped being worth it in 2026. Let's see what we got here.
A burger is almost $12. That's over 160% increase over a decade. So if I add
To be honest though, I've actually only ever had Five Guys one time in my life, and I ain't even pay for it. So at least in my area, like the closest Five Guys like a few miles away, so we really didn't go there. So I don't really have a personal opinion. Damn, $3 for a little hamburger, $4.39 for a ham. Oh, that's not that crazy.
they adding up.
These restaurant prices out there have gone completely insane. Check this out. This is the kids menu for Benihana.
What happened to Panera Bread? $71.62.
Yo, back in the day, you used to get like a half sandwich or soup, a few dollars. That was the go-to. 3 sandwiches and 2 soups for $71, bro. Crazy.
3 sandwiches, 2 of them that were grilled cheese, and 2 soups.
Welcome back to Edwards Economics. My name's Kalen, and the math on eating out this year finally broke. Five Guys quietly turned a burger combo into a $25 receipt. Panera is charging more for a sandwich than a sit-down used to cost. And entire dining rooms are emptying out on Friday nights for the first time most owners can remember. The headline is that restaurants got way too expensive. Tipping culture got way too annoying.
Thank you. Someone's finally calling out tipping culture. How ridiculous that is, bro. After live, it's so funny because since I live here in Thailand, tipping culture really isn't a thing here. But like, I want to tip a lot more when I'm here because the service and stuff is actually good. That's why I'm not a big fan of going to places, even in the States, like places like add on gratuity, because it's like, damn, like what if you have a horrible waiter, horrible service? Like on top of that, I have to tip you, and it's so funny because they've created a society where like, oh, if you can't tip, just stay home, or like you should tip, or you're a bad person. I gotta pay your salary because your boss refuses to pay you a real one. Crazy. Like, come on.
Food quality went down to almost slop. So what in the world is going on with restaurants in 2026? Let's find out.
These restaurant prices out there have gone completely insane. Check this out. This is the kids menu for Benihana. We got chicken and steak.
But I will say, isn't Benihana like they kind of like cook it in front of you kind of stuff? I could have sworn they're definitely I've never eaten there, but like I assume they're pricier. What the? I'm just sorry. You just hit me. Kids menu? A California roll, $18? Chicken and shrimp, 26 for the kids menu? And that says 200 calories. So that John's small as hell. That John is small as chicken and steak. That John is small as hell.
Shrimp, 200 calories, $27.50. No, Benihana is not a cheap restaurant.
Bro, did he take the menu with him? How did he get the menu out of the restaurant? He said,
don't ask these questions, bro.
Diabolical. They're not gonna believe that he stole the menu. Honestly, probably worth walking out with after you're spending all that money.
Exactly.
But the last time I went there, which was about 4 years ago for my 23rd birthday, I ordered the same thing I had always ordered, which was the Splash and Meadow, steak and shrimp, which at the time, adult portion was $27. Fast forward to today, 4 years later, official inflation over that time less than 20%. That same exact meal is now $53. That doesn't include the chicken fried rice, which now is an additional $8 on top of that. So
nah. Can we just agree you're just ripping off people for their money? That's not even cute. Yeah, we get it. Yeah, times are a little bit different. Inflation, blah, blah, blah. If he was like, yo, it costs $27, now it costs $31. Okay. Almost 100x. Almost 100% increase. That you're taking advantage. You're taking advantage of your consumers, bro. And a lot of these companies, these big names, think that the name alone is enough to make people still buy it. But you don't realize how you got to this place in the first place. You were just in that margin where people are willing to pay for you for whatever quality you gave. But now if the quality is getting lower, we're getting less. You're literally getting less because now you have to buy the rice on top of that. You, it doesn't matter. People like you don't mess with people's money, bro. You don't, especially in trying times like this.
For the same dish I used to get for $27. Where now you literally get 150 calories worth of steak and shrimp for $27.50. Good food, but I'm done. I have a family of 4. I got 2 little kids. I'm not ordering $30 kids menu items for.
That's
you add
ridiculous.
my wife and I's entrees, and
You
if we
shouldn't.
got drinks, you're talking $250 to go to Benihana.
No.
And look, guys, the crazy part is we're there on a Saturday night, and the place was like a ghost town.
Of course.
Unfortunately, I think places like this are literally pricing themselves out of business.
Yes.
It's just not worth it anymore.
What happened to Panera Bread? $71.62 for
Crazy.
3 sandwiches, 2 of them that were grilled cheese and 2 soups. $71.62. Are
That's
you
gross.
kidding me?
Wow.
Like, I know, guys, the Chipotle video, the McDonald's video, all these other videos of these places going crazy, but like Panera Bread was something where you could go and get like a half a sandwich, a little cup of soup,
Yep.
and a drink for like under $20. Is this
$12.
They were slowly trying to increase it too. Like Panera was being slick. You can get a little cup or a bowl, right? What you really wanted was the bowl. What you could afford was the cup. The cup was like a few little sips, just a few little sips. But you really wanted the bowl. Now, $70. It was never cheap. I remember growing up thinking that Panera was like, you know, rich people eating out.
Yeah, but like, it was just enough that I didn't feel like I was hurting myself too much, and it felt like it was health on the healthier side versus then going to BK or something, getting a chicken sandwich.
Now, and then like you get the quality, it's not that good. Now, Panera is like wealthy people eating out, except they would never even eat there because the quality's not there.
It's not.
how completely out of touch these companies have gotten when it comes to pricing this stuff? Like, my Chipotle order went crazy. That video has 4 million views in a week because it was $52 for 2 bowls and 2 drinks. And then some.
I think what these companies don't realize too, like there needs to be, in a sense, it's gonna sound weird, but like regional pricing, or something equivalent to that. Because like, if you're living in New York and you make like, let's say, the average New York seller, you can probably afford that a little more than if you lived in like Nebraska. Like, if I live in Nebraska and I see a Panera Bread and our average salary there is like $40,000, $35,000, I'm not paying that. That's goofy. Like, you're essentially saying this meal is worth, like, what is that, 3-4 hours of work? Come on now.
Somebody sent me this today, my friend, and said, this guy went to Panera Bread and he has a video with 3 sandwiches. 2 of them are just plain old grilled cheese.
And they're not even
2
bougie.
soups for $71.62.
No.
And it's like, at this point in time, like, I think these companies have completely lost touch so far with reality that they just don't understand. And then you see all these places, oh, we're in bankruptcy right now. Oh, we're closing locations right now. Like, it's a mystery. Like, Denny's had an announcement here recently that they're closing tons of locations.
Ooh, shocker.
Yeah, I don't even see people in these places anymore. And it's scary because, like, I'm in DFW. This is one of the markets where restaurants come and, they launch. Like, we have tons of new places always to eat, but they always fail. So many of them fail, y'all. They're so empty. Like, what is going on?
Someone sent me a picture of this Five Guys menu from the early 2010s. And I
That's
almost had a
2010
panic attack.
pricing?
Because in what warped reality have we shifted to? In what realm did we end up in where the prices have more than doubled in a little over 10 years? You telling me there was a time period where I can go get a burger, fry, and drink for Five Guys and not need to file bankruptcy?
A good burger, too. A good burger. Five Guys uses the fresh ingredients, so
I've only had them one time. I don't remember. It wasn't bad, but I don't remember it being like, wow, this is so good, I want to come back,
to this inflation. But man, I still kind of remember Five Guys even being more fresh. I don't know, it could just be me, but you gonna pay if you go there.
I looked on the app. A burger is almost $12. That's over 160% increase over a decade. So if I add 2, it ain't adding up. I can make minimum wage back then and get a burger for just 1 measly hour of work.
And that's how we calculate it.
That's
you
not
know?
that's
When you
not
don't
bad.
make a lot, you start calculating all your
Hours.
expenses and the hours that you're working.
Like I just did with the Panera Bread. Like I'm literally working in it. When you don't make a lot of money, like how many hours is this meal worth? Because then you start thinking to yourself, okay, do I want this meal? This is 3 hours of my life gone. That's crazy, bro. You're essentially saying to people, our food is so good, it's worth 3 or 4 hours of your life. That's how you have to think about it, honestly, bro. When you're working hourly like that,
Which I think is always the smartest way to calculate it. But you know, when you're working minimum wage or like a teenager, you're like, hold on, this meal cost me an hour. Now these kids are like, this meal cost me 5 hours of work.
That's
why they're not dating anymore.
If I made minimum wage right now and walked in that motherfucker, they might call the cops. At first I thought this was AI, but then I thought about it for a second. Even a computer couldn't compute these type of prices. It couldn't fathom the level of inflation and capitalistic greed in our society. And a $5 burger sounds so good right now too. But I'll never financially recover from that.
Do you know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of going out to eat, spending $90 on 2 people, and then plus tip. So about, $110, $120 on 2 people, and the food don't even taste good. We went
It's not even feasible. I went back to Philly back in January of this year, and me and my 2 boys, we went to Applebee's, bro. Applebee's was always the spot for us. When we played poker, we did whatever we did. We always come back to Applebee's. Game going, Applebee's. And we always got the 2 for 20. 2 for 20 is chilling, bro. Because even if like you were a little hungry, we all get our own 2 for 20. Had one here, had one back at the crib. But I looked at the menu in shock. Why ain't nobody told me the 2 for 20 don't exist no more? It's like the 2 for 25, 2 for 30. And I was like, what, bro? I saw the portions got smaller. The appetizers weren't hitting, bro. I was like, oh, it was not the move, man. It was not the move. Like I've noticed it, man. And we end up getting the bill, ended up being like almost $80, bro. Because of tax and tip, bro. That's ridiculous.
Last night, because I was like, we've been busy with the move and stuff. Let's go out. You know when you spend some money that you're not supposed to spend, and you get that gut wrenching feeling like, ugh, and the food wasn't good. Like you could go home.
It wasn't
and you
worth
could make
it.
that steak.
But what exacerbates it for me is when, and again, bless their heart, they just work there. We're not upset, even at the cooks, because you can only cook with the ingredients that you have. When they come by and they say, how's the food tasting? And they just dropped it off. And it's like, as they're asking it, is as you're processing that this food was disgusting. That this food wasn't worth, that it wasn't worth the hours that it took you in order to earn the money to pay for it. And then you see the price.
Mashed potatoes yourself, and it isn't even that steak and potatoes that's like really yummy. It's just like that steak and potatoes that you fastly cook. You know what I'm talking about?
That made me mad.
So sick of spending money like that, and the food isn't even worth it. Like, what happened to spending like $100 on a good meal that you're like, oh yeah, this is worth it?
That was the thing. Like, at least if it was lacking in Applebee's or something. Okay, it was just a 2 for 20. It was $20. Or maybe say $27, $28, whatever, got the tip. Hey, I got 2 meals out of that, whatever. I think, okay, fine. But the fact that we're paying $80, $90, $100 for a lacking meal is just so grotesque, man. Because at that point, just eat at home. Cook. Do whatever. I love cooking. I'm a big advocate for, like, cooking. Even me here living in Thailand, when food is pretty cheap, even if I order delivery, whatever, I still think cooking is a better option, bro. Like, it just gets to that point.
So worth it. It's not worth it.
No,
and then
no convenience.
We go out as a family, and you know how big my family is. Don't even get me started. That food, it's not worth it. I don't know what happened. I talked to my mom about it. I just feel like everybody. It gives you cheap stuff, raises the prices, and the food is crap. I'm just so tired.
Quality's
of the
crap,
food
the
tasting
quantity's
like
crap.
And now it hits different too with, when we were all kids, we would sometimes play in our food. Some of us would get popped or get in trouble for playing with our food. But now that I'm older and inflation is doing what it does, when I see my kids not finishing their meals, I kind of side-eye them a little bit. Like, you don't even know. When I was a kid, I wasn't even able to order a drink. I wasn't even able to get a water on the side. I didn't even get to choose what I was eating. Y'all are over here making choices and stuff in this
Making
economy,
choices.
and then not even eating your food.
No, you better eat
We're
that
in
broccoli.
Miami, and we just wasted what, $500 on dinner?
650.
We spent $500 to reserve a table, and we got chicken nuggets, burgers, fries, and chicken tacos that fell apart.
Sliders.
Oh yeah, not even a full burger, sliders.
My man,
Did you think
my man is mad, bro. He is mad. He's like, he said, I better get some cheeks after this, man. He's probably like, I'm tired.
it was worth what you paid to reserve the table?
It was criminal. They had us sitting there in a bar eating bar food for $650.
Wow.
Yeah, you were literally in a bar, sitting on like a couch. You did not have a table, so if your food fell, it fell on your lap.
What?
They're laughing, but they just got done paying it. Does it get to a point where it's ever okay, ethically and morally, to walk out because you realize they're trying to scam you? Like, I know, like, sometimes Americans can go to other countries and you may not speak the language, you don't understand the currency conversions. So you can get scammed, like the price that you can get quoted sometimes when you're buying stuff on the street. Like, they're trying to scam.
Fun fact, living here in Thailand, there's actually quite a few restaurants here that will have a Thai menu and a foreigner menu. And I didn't realize, so I went to one of my places I frequented next to my my condo. When I went there with my girlfriend at the time, they gave us a different menu. And because I got the same thing usually when I was there, like Pat to you. They gave us a different menu. It was all in Thai. And I was like, wait, this John is like 80 baht cheaper. And my girlfriend, she's like, yeah, no, sometimes they give different menus if you're a foreigner, but they see you with Thai people, they give the regular menu. Yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. But like the thing is, like, at least like the difference was like $1 or $2. Getting scanned here for a few $100s is wild.
Scam you. But you can like barter back and forth, like, no, it's not really worth that. I see what you're trying to do. Can we do that here? Like, when we order the food, are we really agreeing to that? Do you think that they knew, is what I'm asking? Or did they not even see the price and they just had the menu items? Because sometimes they do that and they don't put the price on there and you get the bill and it's like, whoa.
Guys, don't be afraid. If you go to a place, especially there's a lot of places that I go to, like the drink menu especially will be like, well, I think I don't drink as much anymore, but the drink menu will be blank and just have like the things. Just ask for the price, bro. I don't care who you're with. Especially if you're the one paying, there's never no. It's like a psychological thing. They kind of do that so you don't like, ask. Especially if you're on a date, that makes you feel like weird. But like, there's never been a moment when I have not asked. I don't care who I'm with, what I'm doing. I'll be like, how much is the drink? 32. Yeah, I'm good. How I look like?
Would it be okay to just kind of be like, nah, you're gonna take $50. You're not gonna take 650. What do y'all think?
But was it good? Did you enjoy the night?
I enjoyed the music part of the evening.
The music was so good. The singer was
Oh,
incredible.
live music. Okay, that's nice.
He sounded like Frank Sinatra. He was a
was
great
incredible.
Italian singer.
But we could get tickets to go see a concert, but the food was... Oh, and then the best was when we were ready for dessert, she told us what?
Our 2-hour time slot for the experience had expired and we had to move tables.
Eating out in LA is
What?
so expensive and no one
What a
talks about
joke.
the tax and tip. So here's how much it actually costs to eat out in LA. First I tried proper sit down meals. I went to Mel's Drive-In and then IHOP. Food itself didn't seem that bad at first, but then you've got your tax on top, and then on top of that you've got your tip. And all of a sudden,
40,
breakfast you're
50,
looking at $60.
60!
Don't get me wrong, the food was really good, but when you're here for 10 days, it can soon add up. Bearing in mind that
Really good. You're just going to IHOP. I remember back when IHOP, had like endless pancakes or whatever. It was not like you can eat IHOP, you and your buddy, for like $20-something, bro. $60 for a chain place, like not even a regular diner. That's IHOP. IHOP, bro. You're bordering Waffle House and Denny's.
for breakfast, so the first meal of the day. One thing to remember when you're in America is the price you see is not the price you pay. It feels way more expensive than it actually.
That hurted. That hurt a little bit. Hearing somebody, from a different country with the accent talk about how our pricing is like dishonest and there's always going to be some tax and some upcharge.
That is actually, wow. I've actually truly never thought about it, but like, wow, damn, that's so true. Like when I'm here and I go to like a restaurant here in Thailand, most of the time, unless it's like super fancy or something, if it's like, yo, this is 300 baht, which is like no $9 or 200 baht, I get the bill, it's 200 baht. I scan to pay or I just pay him cash. It's 200. It's that. But most places in the States, doesn't matter where you go, whether it's grocery store, whether it's whatever, if something's $4, you're probably gonna pay like 450 or 420 or even 5. Damn, that is so dishonest. Now that I think about that.
They're so right, though. They're so right. I'm from California, but I remember visiting because I live in Texas. I visited a couple years ago, and we were in the Newport area, and I'm getting breakfast, and it was fire. Like, it was really good. You know, a lot of restaurants in California make really good food. The problem is the orange juice was $18.
Damn!
Per cup.
Sorry.
Florida and California grow oranges. Why?
Yo, they playing you because you know damn well they bought the orange juice from a Costco, a whole thing for like $7-8, and they just charged you.
We're surrounded by orange. $18 cup of
Never.
OJ?
I would never.
No.
I would never. I would never.
No.
I would never.
On to fast food, I tried Panda Express and In-N-Out. Here's the difference, both of these meals came to under $30. Biggest thing with fast food is that you don't need to give a tip unless you actually want to because you got good service. Main thing is it's not actually expected. Instantly, it feels way more affordable.
I'm sorry. I would never ever give fast food a tip. The only fast food place, and I don't even see them as fast food, I would even consider giving a tip is Chick-fil-A. Because the service there is always A1 when I go there, bro. I'm not giving BK, McDonald's, none of these mofos a tip, bro. Are you out of your mind? They don't do anything. It's not like a restaurant.
And a lot less stressful. Yeah, it's fast food, but you're still getting a full meal and decent prices.
Panda used to be able to get a whole meal for like $20. You could feed a lot of people for that. I remember going in. In-N-Out is still pretty reasonable. They're not as, they don't have as bad of prices as like Five Guys.
Yo, fun fact, guys. I was in LA for an influencer convention one time, and I was on Uber. I was like, oh my God, I really want to try In-N-Out burger. It's just so lit. So I ordered In-N-Out burger. The bun was flipped upside down. Like inside out, upside down, and I started eating it. My friend looks at me, he's like, yo, what are you eating? Yo, In-N-Out burger, bro. This is so creative, man. Like the burgers are flipped upside down. He's just like, it's not supposed to be. He's like, what do you mean? Isn't that why they call it inside out burgers? Like, nah, dude, I think someone just after your order, bro. I dead ass thought I'm smacking the John. I'm thinking like, yeah, they flipped the bun around. Like, I've tried inside out burger. I was a dumbass, bro. I ain't know better.
It's not as egregious. But even they're starting to inch up a little bit. I saw a recent price change.
Most of the portion sizes in America for takeaway food are usually huge anyway. I'm not gonna lie, after making this, I completely understand why people go for fast food. Those extra costs, they just add up so fast.
So as always on Edwards Economics, we are going to steel man the counter argument because there is one for restaurant pricing. And it's worth saying out loud first. Labor is up, food is up, insurance is up, rent is up. A restaurant operating on a 5% net margin in 2019 needed every one of those line items to stay flat, and literally none of them did. So when Five Guys starts to charge you $14 for a burger, somebody at corporate can show you a spreadsheet that justifies it. That's the honest version of this story, but I don't think that's good enough because here's what isn't on the spreadsheet. Three forces are stacking on legitimate cost inflation, and together they explain why a meal in 2026 feels like robbery instead of a treat. The first one is supplier consolidation. Sizeco and US Foods together control most of the food going into restaurants that you actually eat. When the supply side consolidates, prices stop tracking the cost of beef or wheat. The second force is private equity. Those good old PE firms. The casual dining brands you remember from the 2000s are mostly owned by a couple of PE firms now. Cheesecake Factory, Bloomin' Brands, Applebee's, Panera, all sit within these PE structures or have recent cycles. The third force is the fee playbook and tipping inflation. 20% used to mean great service that you appreciate. Now it's like the barrier
30%
of the entitlement that these waiters and waitresses have. iPad turns around and it's 25, 30, 35%.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that. Even in Applebee's, when you turn it around, like they already assumed that you want to give them 20, 25, 30%. And they actually make it more of an inconvenience for you to actually like rearrange and change it.
Before you've even taken your first sip, there's a service fee on top of the receipt, a kitchen fee, a wellness for our staff fee, so many fees.
The
and
music
none of them
fee
are showing up on the menu price. But if you insist on continuing to eat out, there is a plan that you can follow that can make it make sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the blueprint right now. From now on, eating out should clear 3 checks before the credit card comes out. 1, is the food actually better than what you could make at home? Or are you paying $80 for some nasty frozen chicken with some random sauce drizzle? 2, is the experience that you're going to get worth the line item? The people, the time, the occasion, not just the food. Number 3 is, can you pay for it without juggling or eliminating something else in your budget? If you get 3 yeses, go ahead, eat out. You won't regret it. If 2 or fewer, the answer is dinner should be at the house because eating out just ain't worth it anymore. But as always, I want to know, what was the last meal that you ate out that made you feel cheated? Go ahead, drop it in the comment section below, the chain, the city you're in, and the number that ended up at the bottom of the receipt.
We have to talk about these McDonald's prices. I went to McDonald's today just to get some lunch. No intention to film a video. I got a double cheeseburger. I like it without ketchup. I think it's one of the best things on the
$7.
menu at McDonald's. But the price caught me so off guard. This thing right here is $4.19. And I remember
like
probably in high school,
$2.
one of these.
Oh, just a simple. Oh,
like
I'm so stupid. I'm thinking like a Big Mac or something. Like a simple cheeseburger. That used to be $1. A double cheeseburger, maybe $2. $1.75. Yeah.
I think, before the McDouble was even invented. And I'm in Colorado. I don't know if that's why. I don't know if it's more expensive out here. But this thing right here for $4.19 is crazy. And don't get me wrong, I love these things.
Wow.
I get them all the time. I've been eating them for years. But $4.19 is too much. Now, to be fair,
and that cheese ain't even melted, bro. That shit pissed me off, man.
One get one for $1, so $5.19 for 2 of these, which is still crazy. I don't know how McDonald's went from being the best value in food, not even just fast food, to now.
I mean, we gotta be fair. $5.19 for 2 is getting at the price that you want.
Yes.
The thing is, it's the shrinkflation. Do y'all see how miniature that burger is relative to the size of his hands? I know this is a big guy, but y'all, he's making that burger look like a quarter. What? How many of these will you have to eat to actually feel like you ate?
I think the thing is too, I actually think burgers were actually smaller even back in the day. So I don't actually agree with that. But the sad part is the way these burgers are made and the stuff that's in it, he can eat 2, maybe 3 of these. It might not even be full, bro. It's the chemicals and stuff, the stuff to make you not feel full. It's
These for essentially the price of like a Little Caesars pizza. You can feed a whole family.
I mean, at that point, if you're gonna get that's true. You're gonna get 2 little burgers, which is, at that point, just get a Little Caesars pizza, bro. That's a whole pizza for $5.
You can get 2 double cheeseburgers. That's insane.
One bite, gone.
He's smacking
I
at
still
that.
love them. I will probably continue to get them. But honestly, it's hard to justify it when you can go to like any pizza place or even a place like Applebee's and get a slightly more expensive meal that is a meal, not a fast food burger.
That's true. Like at that point, with $5-6 you're gonna pay, just go to like a quick little like local pizza store. You probably even get some fries with it too. And those burgers will probably be way more filling. Let's be honest.
This is nuts. Something has to happen. I don't think it's going to.
Even places like Applebee's, though, the food quality, y'all. Because sometimes you can get a lot of crap. It's not even good.
It's gone. Dude, me and my boys used to love Applebee's nachos with the white queso. That appetizer itself could literally feed you. Mostly because that appetizer itself was actually ordered, I think, 1,200 calories, 1,300 calories. Like, that would be the meal, bro. Like, that was so... we tried it, bro. I couldn't even finish. Like, it's just so flavorless, dude. It just wasn't good. It was soggy. It was off. After 3-4 bites, we was like, nah, this don't hit like I used to, bro.
So we want like a lot of good food. Honestly, I'm okay even having a little bit of good food. Because what we're getting right now is a bad deal. It's a bad trade. We're getting a little bad food. Y'all just saw the dude say it was for 120 calories of shrimp. It was $30. What kind of sense does that make?
Kids meal too.
I guess it's McDonald's world and we're just living in it.
How can we afford to go out and eat at this rate? I went to Joey's last weekend and I had dinner with my friend. I haven't seen her in a while and I don't go out to dinner that often.
Is it just me? Because maybe I just grew up, poor and black, whatever. But like eating out wasn't truly a thing. A lot of people, we've gotten to this point of convenience where like eating out, people just eat out all the time, every weekend, every day. When I was younger, like I ate out maybe like once every 3-4 months, and it was like for a birthday, an event. Like I didn't really eat out like that, if I'm being perfectly honest. It wasn't until like I kind of like reached college, and that's when that Applebee kind of thing kind of happened. But before that, like I really didn't eat out as much, like because it was more of a luxury, and it was really more inexpensive to just cook at home. I don't know, is that just me?
This tuna burger, which sounded divine. I was so excited to try it. I substituted a garden salad instead of fries because I wanted something a little bit lighter. Got the burger. It's a big burger. It was delicious. The salad was honestly so mid. I could have done without the salad, but I got my bill and I
42.
could not believe how much
42?
I had dropped.
Yo.
And a salad.
Yo, we're like this, bro. We're like this, bro. I literally said 42, and he just said 40. I swear I ain't watch it, bro. I swear, yo, we like this.
Spent $41 with
We was close. 42, 41. That's, wait, $41?
on my burger with a salad. And I did not order a drink. I told my roommate and she's like, did you order a drink? I said, no. I got a tuna burger and a salad. And it's because the tuna burger was $29. And then to substitute a garden salad was $4 extra.
They charge you for
and
the
then I tipped her 20%, I think, because she was so nice and I really liked her and she was very genuine and down to earth.
No.
I think you should tip your servers. But at this rate,
at what
I'm
cost?
not going to be able to afford to tip or be able to afford to go out to eat.
Especially because it's escalating, right? Everybody's tipping on a percentage basis off of how much the meal cost. That's so now they make the food more expensive and you're tipping more. Like what?
I have a question. Why do we actually do that? I've never sat down and considered, like, we pay you a tip for how much the meal costs. So meaning that I can come in and get a burger with my friend, let's say that it costs $20-something, you get like a $5-6 tip. But then because I got like caviar and steak, same service, same whatever, now your portion of the tip is more. Not that there's more people or anything. Now my meal is just more expensive. Why is it that you carried a steak to my table versus you carried a burger to my table, meaning that you have a bigger tip? I understand for like a bigger party, sure, more people to attend to, that makes more sense. But because the meal I ate, now your tip is bigger. That hasn't actually, I never really thought about. Damn, you really got me thinking today, Ed.
Like what? Like we just heard this couple spend $600 on some chicken strips. They had to tip $60 to $120. Are you kidding me?
$40 for a simple burger and a salad. Like, that's actually insane. And it's not even a fine dining restaurant.
The culture of going out to eat in America is getting absolutely destroyed. You used to be able to go out to eat, get a drink, get an appetizer, get a meal, maybe get a dessert, $22. Those days are dead. I live in LA. My restaurant's in Los Angeles. If you want to go out to eat with a friend and grab lunch, you're spending $60, maybe $70.
Yep.
You throw a cocktail in there, you're at $100. You're already done. You have families of 4, families of 5 that want to go out to eat, and the minimum they expend is $150, $160 to feed their family of 4. Service is down. Portions are down. Quality is down.
I think this is the biggest thing too. If the quality was actually better and your service actually was better, I don't think people would be as mad. I really don't. Like, imagine if like it was so much better. You had way better services. Like, people wouldn't be mad. But when they expect to at least get something, and we're getting beneath that, and you're taking more from us, we see the discrepancy. Like, people aren't dumb. These companies swear people are dumb, but I don't believe the average person is really that dumb. They can know when they're being taken advantage of, and I think we're reaching that tipping point where people are just like, nah, we're done. Like, we're not gonna accept this disrespect.
Everything is down, prices are up, people are aggravated, people are sick of it, and I understand that. McDonald's, Denny's, IHOP, your go-to fast casual QSR spaces
Done.
that were great for budget-friendly meals are smoked. You're spending $40 at Denny's now. I want nothing more than reduce my prices, but I can't when my trash goes up $500 in a year.
Wow.
My property taxes, my unsecured property taxes, the POS system fees go up,
Jeez.
vendor prices go up, food prices go up. They're charging me for gas now. Like, it's getting bonkers. I went to dinner the other night, and they served me like 3 ounces of pasta for $54. I said, are you guys out of your
What?
mind? You don't even make the pasta here. Like, you're buying the pasta fresh and making it, and it's tomato sauce. You're charging $54. DoorDash, Uber Eats. Don't even get me started on DoorDash and Uber Eats.
That's
That's
the
a
biggest
scam in
ripoff.
itself.
Yep.
So Chipotle is raising their prices again. And apparently the CEO of Chipotle is saying, if you're broke, then Chipotle is not the place for you. I mean, that's what he's saying in so
Lost
many
the
words.
plot.
Basically, he's saying that their core customer base, 60% of their core customer base are people who make over $100,000 a year.
Jeez.
Yeah. So basically, they're saying that the majority of their customers, 60%, make over $100,000 a year. Therefore, they won't mind the 1% to 2% price increase because they can basically afford it. And those are the people they are targeting for as their core audience regarding their new price.
But also, they have to realize something. Even if you're making $100,000 a year, most of the people making $100,000 a year tend to have more expenses than people who are making under that. And if you keep raising these prices, even if you're making that much money, you're gonna be like, I made a budget for food. I'm not gonna keep increasing it because this damn Chipotle wants to price me out. They're still gonna price out people who make over $100,000 a year. Like, yeah, they have more. Like, this is the biggest thing when it comes to stuff like this. Yes, they have more disposable income, but at the same time, they probably have more expenses for other things. So
increase. So basically, if you're broke, Chipotle is not the spot for you.
So we just went to Jing's on a Friday night, and there was like no one there, and the food, not what it used to be. So where's everyone going in Summerlin, Las Vegas? Where is everyone partying? Where is everyone drinking? Where is everyone eating? Because that used to be the spot. And
well, let's be honest. Let's take a seat for a minute. When it comes to the declining employment, money, all that stuff that's happening right now, these type of things are the things that go first. Entertainment spots, especially when it's like drinking and dancing. Like, you start to realize how not important that is when you can't even put a roof over your head. Stuff like that goes. And then the next thing, you have concerts and then games and all those other, like, these are all things you don't necessarily need to survive. And you'd be like, oh, Tony, you need food to survive. Yeah, but you have to realize, if I can go home and make myself my own pasta for like $12 that'll last me the whole weekend, why am I going to this restaurant paying $52 to have a pasta for one day? You start to be real with yourself, especially when you have kids and a family to support. You don't do stuff like this anymore.
And it's not anymore.
They staying home girl. You missed the memo.
In the United States, I think we are on the path to not having restaurants in 5 years. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds crazy, but hear me out. All of these places are not making money. Nobody is going.
Nope.
There is no lines out the doors.
Nope.
Okay, unless it is right downtown on the middle of Main Street. If you are not in that prime area, your restaurant's dead. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. And it's absolutely crazy. I don't know how it's going to get better. I don't know how wait staff, bartenders, I don't know how they're making any money, especially with the cost of living going up, how they're even surviving, how they can afford to live in the cities. And if your wait staff can't afford to live in the cities and they have to be farther and farther out, there's going to be a point where they stop making that commute. So who's going to work all these jobs? The old retirees who moved here with $1 bajillion? Absolutely not. So I don't think this is a system that is going to work for much longer, which I think is insane. And from a consumer standpoint, I get it. Inflation, tip inflation, all of it. It is just conspiring against the whole thing of going out to restaurants or bars. And these third spaces that we have, which are places that we can hang out, communicate and talk with other humans, deleted. Listen to live music, all that great stuff, they're going to go away.
Yep.
And it's just going to be wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, do the same thing every day with nothing in between.
It's hard to go to a nice third place to, like, you know, enjoy music or even do board games or a cafe when you're expected to at least minimum get a drink or food and on top of that tip. And next thing you know, you want to come out and chill with your friends, but like now you're pretty much saying, and God forbid you got to like pay for entry too. You got to pay at least a minimum of $50, $60, $70. So essentially you're paying, like, you're working 3-4 hours of your life to then use 3-4 hours of your life somewhere else.
And there's just going to be a horrible monotony. So I think this is a bad thing. And with grocery,
you will own nothing, be happy. You're not going to complain. You're not going to do anything else. You will wake up, go to work, have no hobbies, no time, no nothing. That's what some people want.
You're spending $15 at least if you want to get a proper full meal, and that's just not sustainable.
Gen Z are eating out less because even fast food is getting too expensive.
It's really the price that has stopped me.
That spells trouble for big chains like Chipotle, which is having a harder time getting Gen Z through the door.
Yo, Chipotle used to be like $10, $12 a bowl, and if you want to be bougie and get your extra meat, extra chicken, you got $15, $16. Now minimum you go to Chipotle, you're spending at least $22 or something like that, bro. It don't hit the same too. It really don't.
Hasn't sold as much as it was expecting to this year.
What we've noticed is a category slowdown for the 25 to 34-year-olds that are under the most financial pressure.
And Chipotle isn't the only chain noticing a pullback. McDonald's recently said it isn't expecting as many.
That's crazy because Chipotle used to be the spot.
Yes.
You know, as a Gen Z, you had Mac Miller talking about eating this Chipotle. Like it used to be like a punchline in songs. Like we used to be there in high school. It was affordable, pretty affordable. Now, $50 at least.
Is it that bad now?
Next year. So how did fast food go from budget friendly to overly expensive?
You're seeing higher labor costs, higher food costs, and therefore the average eater check when you go out is higher than it has been in years past.
The price of ground beef, for example, has skyrocketed. 1 kilogram now costs more than $14. 5 years ago, that number was closer to $9. So a lot of these chains are trying to win back cost-conscious consumers with promotions.
But I will say this, though. Yes, I can understand more from a local company, but for a lot of these million-dollar companies, where I think the sad part is they refuse to let go of the margin. Like these big companies, I believe, have a decent enough margin to, like, even if they were to, I'm not saying to keep the price the same, but at least do a smaller decrease. They don't want it. They want the same margins to keep the shareholders happy and stuff like that. Not realizing that it's just not sustainable. Like I don't get it. Yo, this is why I love. Yo, shout out to Arnold Palmer, though. Yo, if you know Arnold Palmer, my man's been selling them $99 drinks since I was a youngin', bro. They asked him, yo, dude, your drinks have been 99 cents since like damn near 19. I think the company started in the 1900s, in the late 1990s. He said, why aren't you ever gonna raise the price? And my man said straight up, bro, I'm already rich. I'm already chilling. There's no need to raise our prices. Shout out to my man. And I'm not saying it to keep everything to $1, but like that mentality, I just respect.
King says it's seeing more traffic from meal deals like this one. And a recent survey shows that Gen Z says promotions are a major consideration when they're choosing a restaurant.
We know that younger
hell yeah,
they're looking for value meals. So this is one strategy that a lot of restaurants are using to remain competitive.
The thing is, a good meal deal at one particular restaurant won't necessarily keep a customer coming back.
They may not be brand loyal, so they'll switch to different brands based on the value offerings.
They might also just be snacking more. You know, girl dinner.
Having girl dinner again tonight.
What does that mean?
Y'all, girl dinner might be a sign of the poverty.
What the hell is girl dinner?
I thought that it was just girl dinner for convenience, which I understand. Girl dinner might be like we're starving, and this is what we can afford. Restaurants didn't just get expensive. They quietly became a different product with a different supply chain, a different ownership structure, and a different relationship to the customer than they had just 10 years ago. The price you're seeing is the result of all of this innovation, which we could actually say is degradation. You don't have to give up eating out. You just can't afford to do it on autopilot anymore.
Yeah.
3 yeses in our framework means that you should actually eat out. And if it's 2 or fewer, you should just stay home. The food just isn't worth it sometimes anyway. That's the rule, and make sure you're following. And also follow the rule of going to edwardseconomics.com and subscribe there, because that's where I go way deeper.
Shout out to Edwards Economics. I'm gonna give you a sub, bro. I'm meeting some really good YouTubers lately. What I loved about this video is that I actually liked how he actually broke down, both sides, played devil advocate. Because to be honest, the rise of like ground beef and like I even think about things like insurance and gas and like these companies have to pay for it. I'm like, damn, like don't get me wrong, even though I'm complaining, I can't be ignorant. Like, yo, prices everywhere have gone up for you, and of course, if you want to be sustainable, like as much as like you do what you love, yeah, but I do believe that if you're doing what you love and you're actually making a decent product, you should be getting paid well for it, and it's hard to get paid well. It's the restaurant business is really, really messed up right now, and I honestly do feel for these people. At the same time, when I'm voicing my opinion, I'm mainly talking to a lot of these $1 billion companies. Like, the reason why you got to this point, you're pricing all these things, or why you got to that point. And I feel like a lot of these companies, like Starbucks or like Chipotle, they're losing the plot. They are truly, truly losing the plot, in my opinion. But great video by Edwards Economics. We'll be doing a few more from you. Great stuff. If you guys agree, what do you guys think these restaurants do? Do you think restaurants are actually priced correctly? Do you think I'm tripping? Do you think the video's tripping? I don't know. On that, guys, let me know what you feel in the comment section. Other than that, thank you for watching and welcome to the Marination.